Not much. Gone through a lot to try to get on here and talk to you today.
It's been a struggle.
Yeah, this trip is real. So I'm gonna upload this video and we're gonna have to share it because we tried
Yeah,
everything live
cool.
um, and nothing worked.
Yeah,
But
we've tried
me and
Facebook and YouTube now.
Devin, we're gonna talk today a little bit about the crisis that's in South Africa, and he had some messages for the American people. So I guess I'll just start by asking you, Devin, is there anything that you would like to start with?
Yeah, of course. Well, firstly, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. It's a great privilege to be with you. It's about time we do this, where we have one-on-one conversations as Americans and as South Africans. Uh, First of all, I want to reach out to President Donald Trump right away. I just want to say thank you, first of all, for the tweet that you made, President, when you tweeted that. Pompey will look into the land issue in South Africa, and I want to thank you for that because that has opened a lot of doors in for us as South Africans to connect with the Americans and people like Brandy now reaching out to us in massive and amazing ways, but it hasn't changed anything yet. It the situation in South Africa has become worse now because the concept of land expropriation has been accepted, which means that it will most likely be a law in next year in South Africa, which will state that um, you are allowed to take land without compensation. So, Mr. President, I'm reaching out to you. I'm calling on you to give attention to us, to hear us out, to not only have an ear for the people that's lying to you and telling you that everything is okay in South Africa and that you don't have to worry because it's not okay. My people are dying one by one each and every day. And when I speak about my people, I'm speaking about our men, our women, and our children. They are not being killed, Mr. President. They are being slaughtered. Their legs are being cut off. Their throats are being ripped open. They are being burned by irons. They are being executed. 2-year-olds are being raped and thrown into dustbins. This is a reality. This happens every single day. Um, I've not been ordered to say this. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody. I'm speaking as a 24-year-old South African, and this is happening every day in South Africa. And then I want to reach out to all the American veterans. Um, these men that are being slaughtered in South Africa has fought right next to your veterans. They went into battle with your people. My South Africans were in battle with your American people. They were fighting alongside one another, and I know that your motto is "Leave no man behind." And I'm asking the veterans in the US to please not leave any of these people behind. Take in consideration that these people have given their lives for a greater cause, for the same reason that you guys were there. They were there as well, and they are the people that are being murdered and slaughtered in South Africa, and it is happening on a daily basis. Their children, the guys that fought next to your veterans, um, their children are being hanged and slaughtered and cut into pieces. And these are the people that offered their lives for the US as well. Even though they're not even US citizens, they were fighting next to your people.
Right, because at one time we were allies, and
Yeah.
I speak to some veterans myself because in order to better understand the situation and understand both sides of exactly what's going on, there was a need to be involved in the community to actually put in the work, to make time and make it a point to speak to the people from, the English to the Afrikaner to the farmers to the everyday, people to the people that go to the squatter camps. So I've gotten to know a lot of these people well, and these veterans. I have pictures. They have American flags in their homes, and
Yeah,
they
they
have
do.
the names of all the American soldiers that they fought with signed on those flags. So a lot of people don't know this little bit of information, so I'm glad that you talked about that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, Devin. I don't want to be too like graphic with things, but
Yeah.
I struggle to reach Americans. Um, I don't struggle to reach your community. That for me has been pretty easy, except some of them are very hard-headed, but it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Um, but I struggle with my people to open their eyes because it is so unbelievable.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of murders as a whole in South Africa, but the difference is these murders are committed against a tiny minority, only 8% of the population, and the brutality and the viciousness
Mm.
of these attacks is based on race,
Yeah.
solely based on race and
Of course.
dehumanization. Okay, that is the goal, is to dehumanize in these attacks and cause the
Mm.
most. I've seen an attacker speaking out saying that their goal is to cause the men the maximum amount of pain. So how
Yeah.
would you do that? How do they do that, Devin? As a man,
Yeah.
how would somebody cause you the most pain you could ever
Yeah, look, well, first of all, I just want to recap on what you said, that you're not struggling to reach South Africans, but you are struggling to reach Americans. Um, I, on my side in South Africa, we find it different because we again find it easy to get you guys, but we are struggling to find our own people. Um, but I don't know, maybe we're focusing on liberals more than we are focusing on the people who it actually is happening to. Um, as the head of the house, as the husband of the wife, and being the father of the kids, they will keep you last, because you raise that home. You are the leader of that house. You are the man of that house. You are the caretaker of that home. And we've had the discussion before on who gives the orders uh, to do this farm murders, and the order comes directly from them that the father will be kept last, because he has to see everything that he's been working on his entire life to build to see being thrown away right in front of him, and
not just thrown
and
away?
yeah, and he will not get shot at the back of the head. He will see how his family is being slaughtered, and they will slaughter him while he's watching them being slaughtered. So yeah, it's not a it's not a very
And
nice thing
not
going
only
on.
do they kill them, but some of these families are tortured for up to 8 hours.
Yeah,
And the women are gang raped, even the children, even infants. And the viciousness and the brutality is,
mm,
and this is another factor of genocide, is when the attacks are so brutal and they seek to dehumanize you,
yeah,
and humiliate you. That is a factor of the UN's definition of genocide, and it fits perfectly into how these murders are committed and the torture
mm,
and
yeah,
the rapes and the dehumanization. And I just, it's a
yeah.
lot
It's
to take
terrible,
in.
and
But
you and we
Americans
and
can't
we
take that
can't.
in. Americans can't imagine it. They can't wrap their minds around it
Yeah,
because
but you
we're
won't.
conditioned to
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah. Look, I've seen the photos and the videos of Texas before. I mean, I think you've got two block fences around your yard, around your property.
Hmm.
If you do that in South Africa, they will rob you every night and they'll take everything in your house. We've got 3 to 5 meter walls built around our homes. We can't leave a window open. They will rape and kill you inside your house if you do that. But the problem with us as the minorities are that we are not being represented, um, uh, in parliament, in government. We are not being represented at all. There is not a safety structure that has been that is in place to look after our people. The commando corps have been stopped in 94, 95,
Yeah.
and those were the people
Illegally,
that looked after the farmers
illegally,
illegally. Yeah,
illegally.
yeah, because the commando
So they
corps
did
never
this.
did the commando corps never did anything illegal, and they were looking after the white farmers. And with the land being an issue, the commando corps are the people that look after the land, and that's why they were stopped illegally.
These are the older military generation, um, right?
Mm.
So um, that is also, I'm sorry, I keep going back to this, but I studied this in depth. The UN definition of genocide, the International Criminal Court, and
Yeah,
the the Rome Statute, the Geneva Convention. I've studied all of these, and you not having representatives to represent your people in government, that is also a factor in there. There are 8 definitions in the UN definition of genocide, and there are smaller factors in each one. And
mm,
your people fit into every single category,
yeah,
and that is really shocking and really scary, because are we going to do the same thing we always do, Mr. President, and wait until it's too late? I remember reading in Rwanda, by the time they finally sent troops in, it was 3 months too late. The people were
yeah,
gone, they were dead.
yeah.
So we must open our borders. we,
Mm.
we must take in these people. Other countries need to open their borders. That is a big thing. They need refugee status. Americans don't understand how hard it is for you to leave, even to get a visitor pass. They think you just jump on a plane. Oh, why don't they just leave?
Mm.
You tell them why you
If you
can't leave.
get approved, to come to your country, the problem is that we are busy being pushed into a corner. As a white South African, I've got over 600 laws that's written against me as a citizen of South Africa, and that's over 600. I'm gonna say that again. I've got over 600 laws that is written against me, to prevent me from having property, to have a life, to have a job, to play in a sports team, to get jobs, to get tenders, to get contracts. We've got over 600 laws, and they are slowly but surely pushing us into the corner. And like Ramaphosa said, that they will do it like a frog in boiling water. They will
Right. This
keep
has
us
been
in the
their
pot, and they'll
plan.
turn the heat on slowly so we don't jump out, so we'll burn inside the pot. And that's exactly what they're doing. The
And this has been
moment
the plan all along.
President Donald Trump sent out that tweet, Ramaphosa was very quick to say that no, it's not happening. This, this is not,
And I study him well, and he doesn't even speak
and
that.
this is not happening. And um, when it started getting quiet, all of a sudden, land expropriation without compensation needs to happen immediately, and it needs to.
Well, I don't believe it's quiet. I do. Maybe it's the quiet before the storm, but I don't. My president hasn't let us down one time, and I didn't originally support him. I was afraid of him. I was afraid he would betray us, and he earned my trust and respect by keeping
Yeah, sorry.
promises.
Yeah, Ben, you broke up. You broke up there
Sorry.
for a few
I was
minutes.
just saying that he earned my trust and respect. I didn't support him. I was afraid of him. And he did not send out that tweet by accident. Are you having trouble hearing me, Devon? Oh, I know why. I'm sorry.
You broke up for a minute there.
Yeah,
Lucy.
give me 1 second. Okay, now can you hear me good?
Yeah, it's better
It's
now.
my it's my internet. I'm sorry. What I was saying is that I didn't originally support him. I'm a conservative. He was a lifelong Democrat. I was afraid he would destroy our party for good, and that he would put liberal Supreme Court justices and, destroy, to betray us. And he didn't. He earned my respect by keeping his word. And I need the South African people to understand what that tweet did, what that small, just those small characters, what that did. And he will not speak again until the action is taken. But I need them to understand what that tweet meant, that it wasn't on a whim or by accident. He's very
There's a
calculating.
reason. There's a reason why it happened, and the reason will be exposed very soon. I think for us as South Africans, the most important thing now is to take hands with people like you, Brandy. And I'm saying this to each and every South African. We have come in this position where we're waiting for the opportunity to stand together. In South Africa, there's a saying. Hoekom kan ons nie saam staan nie? That means why can't we stand together? And because you are waiting for opportunities. That's why. And you are given an opportunity here to connect with people like Brandy, who has major influence and a lot of say in what's happening at the moment. And she's got very, very good leadership skills, and she knows what she's doing. We as South Africans need to identify the people abroad who we're going to take hands with. And we need to work with these people. And I mean, you are a superpower country, and you have the ability, Brandy, to make a lot of noise where we can't, where our voices are made silent. You are able
This is why
to be that voice for us.
this is why I speak, and because I know I can say things that you guys wish you could say, but you can't. And I won't give up. And I fight because it's not right, and it's not right to ignore it because you're white. So let me ask you one more thing. Another question, Devon. Um, so you guys are willing to unite with everybody. So it's widely put out there falsely by the mainstream news media, by MSNBC, shame, CNN, shame on you, CBS, shame on you, NBC, shame on you. I saw a broadcaster on MSNBC have the nerve to laugh about this, and it made me so angry because, first of all, you do not even know what you're talking about, and second of all, you spit in the faces of entire families that have experienced torture while you sit safely behind a desk and you sleep safely at night. You don't have to lock your doors or worry for your children, and how dare you? But I say that because it's a white supremacist hoax conspiracy theory. I know that not to be true because I speak to many of South Africans that are not white, that agree with you and that don't want this happening.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's what the question that I have is, as a Boer in South Africa, why am I not flying over to the UK, England, and burning their buses and trains, burning their buildings, and I'm making a noise telling them that you have kept my people in concentration camps. You have kept
Yeah, you
my
did.
Boer ancestors in I mean, apartheid is not even near what concentration camps were. But
The
I'm not
women and
saying a word about it.
children.
I'm not
Yeah,
exactly. I'm not
you
saying a
try
word
to
about it. I'm not
break down the
complaining about it.
men.
Yeah, yeah. And we've moved on. It's just it's like they are using this opportunity that they have now to destroy each and everything that has been built up to this point, uh, and to shift the blame to us. Uh, in South Africa at the moment, um, we don't have a leadership problem. We have an organization problem because we have thousands of organizations. And I'm not going to name any of them now. We will have a future conversation where we will discuss the different organizations, but we've got many of them. And the problem with our organizations is that each and every organization's got their own golden throne. One organization stands for this. They've got this mandate. The other one's got this. The other one's got this. Each and every mandate's different, and so the people choose which mandate they like the most. And as in everyone's are from Boer people, and this
Right.
one won't agree with this one's mandate. They think that this one's better, or no, this one's better. This organization thinks that the other organization wants to start war, but they think that the other one wants to lift the people. It's a mess, and you are dividing people by doing that. Um,
I
but funny enough,
experience this daily. And so
yeah,
sometimes I have to have to be like a mother, and I have to get on there and say, "Hey guys, cut it out. Let's can we just do this one thing and you can go fighting?" But yeah, I feel like
yeah,
sometimes I have to
yeah.
because I have a soft
And
spot for your
yeah.
people.
And
So
this is a major pride problem because as an Afrikaner, in our culture, pride is a massive thing. You're a Boer, and we are very confident people, and we come forth as very dominating people, and we need to cut that. We need to cut those lines down. We need to unite, because time is running out. We need to unite as all organizations. We have to put our pride aside, and we have to come together with a plan how to make life better, not only for the minority, because we need to remember that the majority is also suffering, because of
yes,
irrational decisions being made up top.
yes.
We need to come together, and we need to decide. Listen, are we going to go left or right? Are we going to go straight or back? We have to decide this, and the time is now, because we
There
are
will
we
be
are at
another
we are we
chance.
are at crossroads now at the moment. Uh, this is war, and this is doing things a peaceful way. We are exactly in the middle right now. So everything that happens now is either gonna push us to the peaceful side, or is gonna push us to the war side. And of course, we all know nobody wants the war option.
Oh, can you tell the people if there is if a war comes, which you guys are not calling for, you don't want, um, you will fight if you're forced to, but you don't want it. So if that comes, can you tell them the odds? Tell
Yeah.
them what you face.
Look, as a Boer, we have won each and every war, being the minority inside the battle. We have never been more than our enemies, and we've won our battles. And if we did not win, we would go down on our knees and we would ask God to forgive us and to protect our children. But we have won many wars against the English, being the minority. We've won the Battle of Blood River. I think we were about 200 Boers against 2 or 3,000 Zulus, and we
Yeah,
won that war. We
yeah.
won that war. But no, it's 2018. We're going into 2019. If a war has to start in South Africa and we are taking white against black, there's no friendship here. Let's take it's only white against black. They overrun us by at least 35 million. So it will. We are about 5 million white South Africans left in South Africa, and they are at about 45 million black people. They will. We won't stand a chance in South Africa. They will take us out in 3 days, if not even less. Um, and it's strange because there's a lot of organizations that have a plan when this happens, and and again we are being divided by the plans because one organization thinks the other
But
one's plan is weak.
even with the plan, the government, my government, and I'm asking my president, Mr. President, open our borders to these people.
Please.
Give them asylum. Why are we letting in people that hate us? They're burning our flags. If you forget, we're letting in the people that are associated with people that flew planes into our World Trade Centers, into our Pentagon, our military headquarters. I mean, those are the people we let in. These people who will not accept welfare, do not want a handout. They love our country. They love our president. They follow our politics so closely because we're like the standard, for democracy. I am begging you to open our borders to these people. These are the kind of immigrants that we need. And yet we let in people that hate us, hate our guts. I don't understand it. And Devin, I would like to ask you, I don't want to make this too long, and daunting for people to watch, but I've been promoting the book My Turn South Africa, written by my friend Alice, and I've been promoting this because number one, it's an amazing book. Number two, Alice is an amazing woman and so brave and an inspiration to me. And number three, the proceeds from this book will go to help these Afrikaner people wherever there's a need. If the borders do come open, if there is a solution and there's need for them to get out, that's where the money will go. We're going to help provide that. Wherever there's a need at the time is what we're going to do. And I noticed last night in the book, because I haven't got to read all the way through the book because I've been so busy taking in emails and all kind of stuff, but that she had put a little chapter in there about your father. And there were some things in there that I didn't know. Like, I know that he's been persecuted a lot unfairly, but she did it as a tribute. And she didn't really tell anybody. She kind of kept it to herself. And when I spoke to her, she told me why. And I found that it was very sweet, and it was just her way of like saying thank you, and trying to tell the people of the good things that he's done, and that he's been lied on, and he's had death threats, and all of this is just for speaking the truth and trying to help his people. And so I wanted to ask you, your family, like a little bit about what you guys have been through, what you go through. I mean, do you still get death threats like this? Do people still do these things,
Yeah. Yeah, we get death threats every day from multiple sources. Um, so our family has been through quite a lot, and we are not afraid to stand up for our people. We love our people. We would die for our people. And I'm going to use the example what I used when we spoke this morning. We got a concert in South Africa, a music concert in South Africa called Afrikaans is Groot. It's called Afrikaans is Big. This is a massive festival that's out in South Africa. And my dad, he sings Die Stem at his shows. Now, Die Stem, as you all know, is the old South African national anthem, which is a prayer. Die
for
Stem is a
peace,
prayer
right?
for peace, for absolute peace. It's a prayer for peace. And the black people in South Africa see that song as an oppressing song, and it's an apartheid song, and it's a racist song. And when the moment he started singing it, we got boycotted everywhere. We are even boycotted in some countries. I'm not going to mention all the names now. We are boycotted in some countries in Africa. We're not even allowed to enter those countries. And we had two major sponsorships for this festival, and I'm going to mention their names. It's Pick n Pay and Land Rover. Pick n Pay is a big retail store in South Africa, and they boycotted the show. They said, listen, they're not going to sponsor anything because the stem is being sang. And my dad never even sang the stem at this festival. It's just that he's
But he
connected on
planned
he's
to.
singing.
Yeah.
No,
No, he
not at
didn't.
all. No,
But he does
I
sing
mean,
it
yeah, he
still.
wanted to sing it at Afrikaans is Groot because my dad's a proud man, and he wants the world to hear what he's singing and what he's
That
doing to
is
his
your
people.
heritage. That is your
Yeah,
culture. And I want to go back and say again, that is a part of genocide when someone is trying to erase your history, your
mm,
culture, your value system, your morals, and separate you as us and them, and make
mm.
you out to be these horrible people. That that is exactly one
No,
of the
and
definitions
and it
in
happens.
genocide.
It happens on national level. Our street names have been changed. We have street names from fighters, from Afrikaners that fought for this country for independence. That some main streets, main roads in South Africa has been named by them, like Louis Botha Avenue and Hans Strijdom. And these people has been given streets. Those streets have been changed to people. You can Google their names. You won't find them anyway. We when Van Strijdom, I think, was changed to Justice Mohammed, or it's Linwood Road. We phoned the people and we asked, listen, who is this guy that you changed the name to? Because we know
You don't
we
even
know
know.
we know who Van
Oh,
Strijdom is. We know who Louis Botha is. We know who De Wet is. We know who these people are. We know their history. And the first thing they told us that no, it's a tree, you know. And when the name was up, we called them again and we asked, "Do you really know who this guy is?" And then this person was a cow, or this name was a name of a cow. And the third time, when the name was finally up, we found them, and all of a sudden, this guy was a person, and he got a statue in South Africa, but he hasn't done anything for this country.
that's an attempt
Um,
to erase a, a people's culture and history.
they are
And for
exactly.
Americans, I would like you guys to understand that this is a tiny minority of people. Yeah, their faces are white. So what? But they exist only one place in the world.
Mm,
And they have their own unique culture, value system, their own language. And this is the only place they exist in the world. And they didn't ask where to be born. You just are. We
yeah,
don't believe in America, and whatever crimes happened, which we don't really know from 400 years ago, they
mm,
settled the Cape. These people settled the Cape before the United States was ever it existed.
yeah,
And to be told that you don't belong there and you need to go back to a place that you've never been, how that's ridiculous. And the whole reason they came there in the first place was to avoid persecution, for their religious beliefs. So they were seeking to get away from that. So they go to this land, and then I'm sure they didn't, foresee this happening today 400 years ago. But
yeah,
I don't see how that is your fault. you
yeah.
know that they
That's the
chose to
same
come here
question we're
400
asking
years ago.
ourselves,
It
you know.
makes no sense.
Yeah. I
But
mean, you are not. I mean, if you fly over to Japan, you are not walking in there, hitting out windows and doors because they bombed Pearl Harbor. You know, you weren't part of
right,
that. It's part
it's
of your history.
horrible.
It's
I mean,
such a
and
rich
we
history. And it's
we
wonderful.
nuked
But
them.
are you attacking each and every Japanese person in your country when you see them?
No, and
Do you
they're
go
not attacking us, and we nuked them.
and are attacking you?
It's
Are the Japanese
peace.
people, are you or the Japanese people walking into to each other's homes, cutting
Right.
off each other's legs and cutting the throats and murdering and raping your children, each and other's children? I don't think you are, because it's part of the
Yeah.
history. It's part of what made you as the USA. It's part of what made Japan as Japan. Even after bombing Pearl Harbor, you could use it today. You could use and say, no, we don't want anything from Japan. We hate Japan people. Say they shouldn't come to the US. That's exactly what's happening to us in South Africa. Even if we fought for this country, we are
But
still
Ned,
being seen as
I,
foreigners and
I
settlers.
challenge anyone, because I know there'll be hateful comments on this,
Yeah,
and won't say what I want to say right now, but because I always get that every once in a while. But okay, for all of you that have your hateful comments, and I leave them up because they just reveal themselves, and I want people to see that what their only argument is to insult, degrade, to try
mm,
to, do the same thing that they do there. I challenge you to bring me one story of a white farmer who
yeah,
went to a black farmer's home and
mm,
tortured, well, a gang of white farmers, and tortured a black family for hours on end,
yeah,
made the husband watch while his wife and even the smallest of his children were gang raped, and if they weren't dead, set on fire, mutilated, tortured, dehumanized. Just one story. Just one story I want to see where
Yeah.
white farmers went and did these things that are happening to these people, because that's the difference is what's happening. And yes, there are many blacks suffering too because of the government, right? But the difference is they're not being targeted because of their skin color. And I know there are a lot of them that they don't want this. They don't agree with it. They know the implications of a civil war. And I mean, I've personally spoken to people that say their people are ready to fight beside your people, that
Mm.
they want to unite, that they don't want this. But, the ANC has had 25 years to make this work.
Yeah.
And instead of making this work, and I'm saying this, um, they have done nothing but destroy a beautiful place that was once one of the most booming economies in the world.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we were.
Beautiful.
South Africa was a first world country back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, it
We
was,
were the capital of Africa, and now I think we're ranking at sixth, seventh in Africa.
I
So
used to dream of going, that was like my number one place that I wanted to go when I was young. I always wanted to go. And now I'm like, I mean, if after everything now, I probably wouldn't make it off the plane. I would never be seen again. I joke about this, but I'm really not kidding.
yeah, it's true.
But
Yeah,
I don't know, Devin. I appreciate you very much for speaking out, because I know that you you'll be heard. You're respected. People will listen to you because
yeah.
you've experienced so much. With everything that's gone on. With your dad, and just you've lived this like your whole life. So I mean, my goal
Look,
is just to reach
I think,
people.
yeah, of course. I think the major thing now that you need to understand as an American, and I'm telling this to each and every other American watching this video, when wherever you are, whatever the time is, um, my people are getting tired. Um, we are fighting battles every day of our lives, and we do not succeed. We do not win these battles. Uh, Everything is being taken away from our people, and we are doing everything in our power to stop that each and every day. We have a lot of plans set up, but we are being countered on every single thing that we bring up. If it's a lawsuit, if it's a national law being written against us, my people are being destroyed left, right, and center. Not only as humans, they are not only being cut up or being murdered, but they are being destroyed in having the vision and the knowledge of what humanity is. Uh, we want peace in South Africa. We want to build this place to what we want it to be. We want our children to have a safe country. We want our children, like your children in the US, we want them to run in the streets and playing. We want them to go
We
fishing.
can't do
We want them to go hunting. We want our children to walk across the street and buy something, a bag of chips at the tuck shop. We want them to do that, and they can't do that because there's a 90% chance that a kid will get raped or shot in the head when they try and do that. And my people are getting tired. We are getting farmers that are the suicide amongst our farmers are massive at the moment because they are losing everything. They're
They're
not.
living in
They're,
terror. It's like worse than a war
yeah,
zone. I mean,
yeah.
it's
Land reform is not only your property being taken from you; it's going to be an asset takeover as well. So everything that brings an income will be taken away from you, and my people are being left on the street. And we are fighting ourselves tirely. Our children are crying because of this. We have thousands of kids left without fathers now, farmers. We have thousands of kids that are left without mothers, and we have thousands of fathers and mothers that are left without children because of these attacks. You are lucky in South Africa if you break free from an attack and you are alive. and you are among the very few that do. And these people that got out of these situations need to step forward, and you need to tell your story, because uh, news bulletins and all this nonsense is not gonna tell the real story. We need you to come and tell the story, because it's a matter of time that all my people will be down and out, and then there will not be any way out of this problem.
I'm going to share the link with this video because I'm not going to go into it in this video.
Oh, sorry.
Ha, that's what you get for laughing
Ah,
at me. Um, I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but there are major things being done to help you and to open the door for you, to force these governments to hear us. And I promise you that with your cooperation, this will work, and it can work, and we will not give up on you. I give you my word. I promise you this.
thank you,
But
thank you.
we can't make it happen without you. You have to help us. And when
Yeah,
I say help us, you can't just send me an email that says, help me. And I do get these. I
mm,
need everything. I need your truth, what is happening to you, what you are suffering. And I'm going to put all the links in this. But this is it. I feel this is our last chance, and we have to make it perfect, and that's what we're trying to do. So I know I get aggravated, and I make videos, like getting on to people, like they're my children, but I we need this to be perfect. We need this to
yeah,
be irrefutable. And your words are documents that could be held up in a court of law. I mean,
yeah.
it's irrefutable evidence. It's more valuable than any news story, any list. I need your cooperation so that we can make this work.
Yeah. Just before we end this video, I just want to say a last thing, that to every American watching this video, and that's everybody, Mr. President Donald Trump, if you are watching this video, that includes you, all the veterans, each and every American. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you work, doesn't matter what you do. The life you have in the US, we pray for each and every day in South Africa. And we need your help. We need people like Brandy. That is our voice. You guys need to listen to Brandy in the United States, because she is breaking through things that is massive, and she's gonna have a big influence in South Africa. And we need it. We need her to have more backing, so she can accomplish her tasks faster. Like I said, she's the voice that we can't have, because we are being made silent on this side when it comes to you Americans. And Brandy is the perfect person and perfect human being, because her heart, she's got the most beautiful heart you will ever see. And we need people like her in South Africa to help us get out of the situation that we're in at the moment. And we plead for help from America and all Americans to step in for us, where we are being blocked, where we are not allowed to step into. And I thank you for everything that you've been doing till this point, Brandy. You have reached thousands of South Africans' hearts, and I know personally you have helped many South Africans, and you are still busy doing that. And I know you won't stop easily. And I thank you for that. We as South Africans, we got your back all the way. If there's anything you need from us, you let us know. Uh, and we hope that we can get the Americans on board, um, especially the veterans of the US, to jump on board and be part
Yeah,
of us.
if they don't know, if they knew, there would be outrage. But there's no thanks ever necessary. It's just simple human decency, and it's what everybody should have. It's our natural instinct, but people
Yeah.
have become so self-serving that this natural instinct is suppressed. But I know a lot of your people will be watching this because they love
Mm,
you, and
yeah. Yeah.
sorry.
We
I'm
we we will get the Americans on board. I want
A lot.
my people watching this video, the minority in South Africa, the farmer, the Boer. I need you to understand that it is difficult in South Africa. Um, we can't look left or right, then something happens to you. We cannot let you give up now. I need our people to be strong. I need my people to pray day in, day out. And I know prayer without actions is nothing. And that's why we said we need to take action into these things. We need you to stay strong. We need you as Boers and farmers to uh, secure yourself, make your farm safe. That's the least you can do at the moment. We are fighting for you. I don't want my people to give up. I want my people to start believing. We have people that are willing to help, like Brandy
And
and
it's way
all the
more
rest.
than me. And I want to tell them that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
y'all, you don't understand. I am allied with so many different people that have reached out to me that are here, and they are doing amazing things to try to make a path for if
Yeah.
you wish to leave, so that you can come here, so that you can
Mm,
have housing, so that you can be provided jobs, not welfare, but a helping hand to get on your feet. And
mm,
I mean, I talk to some amazing people every day. They are lobbying the government. They are doing everything. It is not just me. There are so many. So please don't lose hope, and don't just think that we're not doing anything. There are a lot of nights I don't sleep because I worry for this issue so much. And I get a lot of disturbing information, because I have to take it. I have to.
yeah.
um, but don't give up, because it's not just me. There's so many other people and organizations, and slowly but surely we're all coming together, because we all have a different purpose. And I will not stop. I will die trying to make a change for this. I mean,
Thank
that's
you.
the day that I will give up. So I just pray that the president acts soon. And he needs to open our borders, and that's just basically it. If they want to leave, they can. I know some will never leave, and I understand that would probably be my family. But our borders need to be open to those that want to leave.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I'm going to stop here because we've gone 47 minutes. But yeah, I think this has been a great conversation, and I thank
Yeah.
you
Thank
so,
you so
so,
much.
so much, Devin.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I will talk to you again soon.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to work with you. This will be a
yeah,
wonderful journey.
thank you. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I'm always here. You know how to
Always.
reach me.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.